Hey everyone, this is Chip from NephilimGaming.com, and today we'll be talking about crafting in Guild Wars 2. So this is the basics of crafting. There are more advanced crafts like cooking, but let's talk about armor smithing. Now, as you can see here, this is the Grove, the Savari capital city, and I'm standing at the armor smithing trainer, but you can see here there's all the different trainers, weaponsmith, huntsman, tailoring, leatherworking, cooking, etc. And they're usually all very close to each other. So let's look over here at the armor smithing trainer. Now I have not taken any crafts yet on this character, so the first thing I'm going to want to do is right click and say talk.
More violence, less violence.
And this is how I would become an armor smith. It says please teach me to be an armor smith. If I click here, what can I craft? It'll tell me heavy armor, inventory, boxes, and runes. And then I say, okay, teach me to be an armor smith. And that's it. She just made me an armor smith. Now, in Guild Wars 2, you can have as many professions as you want. You can only have 2 at the same time, but you can have as many as you want. So there's not going to be any kind of confirmation box. And if I had a second craft, we'd be able to choose it from this drop down here. This is the crafting tab of the hero pane. Then you can see what recipes I know how to make, but I can't make it from here. Let's take a look at the mighty chain boots as an example. So this is going to require a vial of weak blood, bronze chain boot panel, and a bronze chain boot lining. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is figure out where the crafting station is. And then once we have figured that out, it's over here behind me. There she blows. We go in here, now we can actually start to make stuff. So you can see here all the recipes that I know. That would give me access to the bank, and I could just pull stuff right out of the bank, which is great. And this is the mighty chain boots, vial of weak blood, bronze chain boot panel, bronze chain boot lining. Now how do I make this stuff? Well, the bronze chain boot panel is something that I craft, as well as the bronze chain boot lining. And you can see what ingredients we're going to need for that. We're going to need a bolt of jute, and we're going to need some bronze ingots. Now I make the bronze ingots as well. As you can see here, it's going to take some copper ore and a lump of tin, and we make the bolt of jutes with jute scrap. So we can go here to the collections tab. This is where we can store stuff so that we're not taking up bank slots with raw materials. Can all go in these collections tab. And there's my copper ore. I have 33. Let's grab that out. The jute scraps, there's 25 of those. Get those out. And here's my vial of weak blood. Let's go ahead and grab that while we're here. And that's all we need right now. Go back to production. Now I need 12 bolts of jute. I can hit craft. That'll just make 1. You can see I got a little experience here. Or I can hit craft all. Now the best part of this is as it goes, it speeds up. As you can see, if you're making a bunch, it just starts to rapidly spit them out. That's amazing, people. Alright, we'll hit close. Now I've got... If we go here to the bronze chain boot lining, I have some bolts of jute. I have 12 of them. But I still need a spool of jute thread. Now, we need a lump of 10 before we can make bronze ingots. And where do I get this stuff? This is stuff that we buy off of the merchant, which is also the crafting trainer. You can see here some lumps of tin. I'm going to buy some of those. And I need spools of jute thread, so I'm going to go ahead and buy some of those. It's pretty cheap. This is the starting materials for basic crafting. Back to the armor crafting station. Now I can make all kinds of things here. You can see I can make my bronze chain boot lining. Let's go ahead and make one of those. And I need to make some bronze ingots before I can make the other part here. So let's go ahead and craft all of that. Now note that it makes 5 bronze ingots per craft. So now let's go over here. I got my bronze chain boot panel. And I've actually made 15 ingots. But I only need 3. So now I have all the parts I need. And I go ahead and craft my mighty chain shoes. And I go here and look at my inventory. There they are. There's the stats on them. They're nice. Good starter pair of boots. And we go over here. So we can also make these reinforced bronze boxes to increase our inventory. Now this is how we invent things or discover new recipes. So I've got some bronze ingots and I've got some jute. Jute is red because I don't need any recipes at my current level. But I put the ingots in and it says there's 11 possible recipes with bronze ingots. The jute, there's 12 possible, but I need to get up to a certain rating before I can actually use it. I'm only at 8, so I don't need these yet. And that's why it's red. Now, what we need to do here is get some more materials out. We're going to investigate and start experimenting and how do we make these things. You just have to make items and put them in those slots. Now we can see that Mighty Chain Boots, as I said, take a bronze chain boot panel as well as the bronze chain boot lining. Now if we make some of those, you can see that also appears. We could put those in, and now look, we could make 12 possible recipes. This is how we would discover any new chain boot recipe. You can see we put the bronze bar in, and the jute would be a possible match, but the others wouldn't. That's why they're grayed out. Again, we don't have enough level right here to use the jute, but at some point, bolt of jute and bronze bars are going to be some sort of new recipe. So let's grab out all kinds of other stuff that we have in the bank that could be used for armor smithing. We can hover over it and you see that in this case some of these are used for armor smithing, but it's red because we're not high enough level yet. But in some cases it's not. We just grab some stuff out. It's not appearing in here, so we don't need that. Let's look what else we can make here. We've got this vital jute insignia that we can make with a bone chip and a bolt of jute. So let's make one of those and see what that does. We'll go back over here. You can see it there. It says it's just used in the crafting of armor. So, okay. Well, let's try to craft some armor with it. We go to the Discovery tab. We put that in there. And you can see we have 6 possible unknown recipes. Let's go ahead and put in the rest of our boot parts. And look, we can make something. Let's craft it. What did we make? We learned how to make vital chain boots. The best part is, also through discovery, we can see here, now we know how to make vital chain boots. We have the recipe. We can make as many as we want. But also through doing the discovery, we actually made a set of vital chain boots. That's the best part. And so the vital chain boots are +3 vitality instead of +2 power. So let's make another vital jute insignia. We'll go back to discovery. Now we only have 5 possible unknown recipes. Gee, I wonder what there could be. There's 5 more armor slots. Let's go take a look. Yep, head, shoulders, chest, gloves, and pants. And that's it for the basic crafting. Thanks for checking out NephilimGaming.com, and please come back for all of your Guild Wars 2 video gaming needs.